So last time I was struck in this diagram. Okay, so this diagram there is a little bit mistake I have done here. Okay, so actually here there was a mistake. Okay, so I will just draw this diagram again. Okay, so this is arcuate nucleus, and this is, you can say, paraventricular nucleus. This is arcuate. Now here two neurons are there. One is what? Pro-opiomelanocortin. Okay, or you can say cocaine amphetamine related transcript, which are causing what? Decreased food intake. See, last time mistakenly I have told you they cause increased food intake. Okay, and other group of neurons are there which are neuropeptide Y, agouti related peptides. Okay, now what they are doing? They are causing increased food intake. Okay, now what they are causing? This are releasing what? MSH. They are having a efferent here also, and they are also releasing MSH. Now here there will be certain melanocortin receptors are there. Here also melanocortin receptors are there. Here I think there are three MCR3, and here it is MCR4. Okay, so what it will do by releasing MSH, it will cause decreased food intake. Okay, so it will send signal to nucleus of tractus solitarius, and ultimately food intake will be decrease. Okay, so and other way by which it is causing what? It is inhibiting the neuron which were causing increased food intake. Okay, so this is the two way by these two neurons are acting. Okay, you might be knowing one leptin. So leptin is having stimulatory effect on this neuron, and it is having inhibitory effect on this neuron. Okay, so leptin is one of the neurotransmitter which is involved in controlling of the food intake. Okay, then what it is doing? Okay, see here peptide Y is there. Okay, so here peptide Y is released, and here there are peptide Y receptors are there. Okay, so whenever they are activated, they will have a reverse action. Also, it will be having actions on these neurons. Okay, so this is a circuit. Okay, this is a circuit between, means what? There are certain neurons which cause increased food intake, there are certain neurons which cause decreased food intake, and interplay between this will control your food intake. Okay, like there are certain substance which increase food intake, there are certain substance which decrease food intake. I have already told you leptin. Okay, then in increasing food intake there are various, like orexin are there, ghrelin is there. Okay, then decreasing here pro-opiomelanocortin is there, cocaine amphetamine related transcript is there. Okay, MSH is there. Okay, here peptide Y. This list is unending. You will find many neurotransmitters which are, some are increasing food intake, some are decreasing food intake, and how they are acting I have just explained you the circuit through which they were acting. Okay, even insulin is having action, CCK is also decreasing, I think insulin is also decreasing. Okay, so there are various neurotransmitters which are causing increase and decrease of all these neurotransmitter, and ultimately they are causing increase or decrease in food intake. Okay, now something, even growth hormone is also having action. Okay, growth hormone, I think it cause uh, increase food intake. Okay, so now what we will study, mainly we will study the role of leptin. We will study the role of leptin. Okay, now see, if leptin generally is released from where? Leptin is released from your fat tissue. Leptin is released from what? Fat tissue. So whenever you have, means you have taken enough diet and your fat stores are full, ideally leptin will be released, and leptin will ultimately will cause decreased food intake. Okay, but see, if it would have been the case, even 50 to 70% would have taken this leptin tablets. Okay, but it is not the case. Okay, so most of the time, if you take in humans, what is found is OB gene. So here what is there? There is a leptin resistance is there. What do you mean by leptin resistance? Means even if leptin is given in high quantity, it is not responding to it. Okay, so whatever is found, it is mainly because of leptin resistance. And when it is responding to leptin, it is DBG. Okay, so this is the role of leptin in food intake. Okay, so beside this, leptin is having various other functions. Okay, which other function? It is helping in control of puberty. It is having some endocrine function. It is also involved in release of glucocorticoid. It is also involved in precocious puberty. So these are the various other functions of leptin. Okay, now we will see something in detail about this food intake, how it is controlled. So this was the circuit which I have told you. Okay, how they are acting. Okay, so what was I telling? So how we will discuss various other mechanisms by which we control the food intake. Okay, so see, there are some short term control mechanism and there are some intermediate to long term control mechanism. There are some short term control mechanism and there are some intermediate to long term control mechanism. Do you think both are important? Both are important. Q, see, short term means what? You are eating now. Okay, your stomach is full. Okay, so if stomach is full, signal should go. There will be certain neurotransmitter which will be released in response to stretching of stomach. Okay, so short term control will control what? Unnecessary overburdening. Okay, and intermediate to long term control, they will act over a long term mechanism. Okay, like if you are feeling ill, okay, you are ill for that particular portion during illness, you are not eating. Okay, but once you are recovered, okay, again eating presumes. Okay, so that is how intermediate to long term mechanism play a role. Okay, so there are short term control and there are some long term control. Okay, now here short term, I have told you some signals from the stomach. Okay, so if you take here, okay, you can say in respect to short term, long term, or there are certain theories are there. Okay, like one theory is, you can say, glucostatic theory. Other you can say lipostatic, aminostatic, thermostatic. Means what? See, gluco means something related to glucose, lipo means something related to lipid, amino means something related to protein, and thermo means something related to temperature. So whenever this requirement, like see, glucose is very important. Okay, if glucose level is down, okay, particular group of neuron will be activated. Now a extensive search has been done how it is glucose. Okay, like for example in diabetes mellitus, In diabetes mellitus, glucose is high. Okay, in diabetes mellitus, glucose is high. Okay, so here it is not only the level of glucose which is mattering. Okay, here important thing is utilization. Utilization of glucose. If glucose utilization is not there, okay, then that neuron will not act. In diabetes, glucose utilization, you might be telling that, you might be thinking that in diabetes mellitus glucose utilization is affected, but it is not. Brain tissue, that particular tissue does not depend on insulin. Okay, so glucose utilization is there. So whenever glucose utilization is occurring, okay, hunger will be there. Okay, if you are giving certain, like there is one compound known as gold thioglucose. So if this substance is given, glucose utilization is decreased. Okay, so in that case there will be problem with the hunger. Okay, so glucostatic theory is there, which depends on glucose utilization. Then lipostatic theory is there, which depends on lipid. Okay, amino is there, which depends on protein, and thermo is there, which depends on temperature. Okay, certain neurotransmitter which are related to your stomach, like glucose you can say, then GIP is that, GIP is also there, glucose insulinotropic peptide. Okay, so some mechanism will be acting in short term, some mechanism will be acting over the long term, and ultimately they will try to control your food intake. Okay, so I hope role of all this is very clear. Okay, I will just revise. Okay, whenever you are explaining this hunger mechanism or food intake, you have to start with the hypothalamic lateral area, middle area. Okay, then you have to tell about all these various factors. Okay, all these factors. Okay, then you have to tell various factors you have to tell. Then after factors you have to tell about that circuit which I have explained. Okay, then you have to tell about how it is controlled, means glucostatic various theory, glucostatic, aminostatic, all that is the control. And in the end you can also write applied aspect also, like obesity. Obesity is the commonest cause. Okay, so all that can be written when you want to write about the hunger. Okay, so these many functions are there of the hypothalamus. Okay, so some I might have missed also, some like, see, autonomic I have already covered. You can also add some other function, like it is controlling the skeletal muscle tone also, because it is ultimately connected to brainstem. Okay, hypothalamus is also playing role in sleep. In sleep I have already told you there are certain zones, diencephalic sleep zones are there. So there certain portion of hypothalamus is there. If they are activated, sleep is there. Okay, so that way also playing the role. Okay, so these many functions are there which are the functions of hypothalamus. Okay, so now with this, now we'll just revise till now what we have studied.
Sir, what was the name of the drug?
I am not sure. It is gold thioglucose. I am 90% sure. 100% I am not sure. Okay. Okay. So I am just revising it. Okay. So in this diagram, various group of nucleus are shown. Okay. Mammillary I have told you, feeding reflex. Okay. So I think everything we have just finished. Okay, then this is a table from the Ganov. Okay, so where all this defensive reaction, okay, appetite behavior, thirst and hunger, they are in lateral only, both. Okay, sexual behavior. Okay, so all these all this is a endocrine portion. Some many times question are asked like this: explain the endocrine function and explain non-endocrine function. So that way you can divide your answer. Okay, here group of nucleus which are involved are also mentioned. Okay, see, remember preoptic is something related to sexual. Okay, so that is why GnRH, it is released using GnRH. Okay, so growth hormone, arcuate nucleus is also there, and periventricular is also there. Okay, so this we have seen. Then so this was feeding behavior. This was various group circuit which was involved. This was thirst mechanism. Then some applied aspect. So applied aspect we have already studied. Various disorders of nucleus can produce. Okay, pituitary tumor. See, if pituitary tumors are there, like say simple adenoma, okay, if they enlarge, what will happen? See, hypothalamus is a tiny structure around 4 to at the most 10 gram. It will just press. So craniopharyngioma is like that only. It, you can say anterior pituitary developed from Rathke's pouch. So Rathke's pouch remain, and remnant of that will lead to this. Okay, so depending on size you get various lesions. Okay, sleep disturbance, because it is controlling the sleep. Now psychiatric disorder. See, hypothalamus, I have told you hypothalamus is having a huge connections with the brainstem. Okay, now in the brainstem there are certain connection lies locus coeruleus. Locus coeruleus is something related norepinephrine. Okay, this is a group of nucleus in brainstem. Okay, then there is one other known as Raphe nucleus. Raphe nucleus means serotonin. Then dopaminergic system is there. Can call this mesolimbic system. And beside that there are various other. Okay, then histamine is also involved. These are mainly mammillary nucleus. Why I want to say this? Okay, psychiatric disorder, see, there are certain drugs are given. Okay, now all these drugs, okay, right now I am just giving you some group of drug like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Means what they will do? What they will inhibit the uptake of serotonin. So see, it is having huge connection with all this. See, in the connection you can write all this: locus coeruleus, Raphe nucleus, dopaminergic, everything you can add. So whenever this neurotransmitter level increase or decrease, psychiatric disorder are going to be produced, and ultimately our aim is to control this levels of all this neurotransmitter. Okay, so all these are the applied aspect. Okay, so now we'll be starting with the emotions.